Hello. How are you? It is late, you guys. I mean, it's not like 4 in the morning late like sometimes, but it is 2:03 in the morning. My husband literally just FaceTimed me. He and the girls are out at some bar in Chicago. He just texted me. What did he say? They're at a bar in Wicker Park with some of his friends' girlfriends. Some of this girl's friends from, she went to Bachelor. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm vlogging. It's PP&P, Eater's Bachelor weekend. I actually pre-filmed my booktube video for tomorrow and my Peterisms video tomorrow, so I can just kind of lay low and watch some movies and TV. I do not feel very well right now, and I have no idea why. I went to eat something different tonight, and I went to, what is rattling? So I went to this place in Indianapolis called Yats, and hold on a second. It's like Yats is like Cajun red beans and rice. That might be what's doing it to me, but I doubt, because he's like, how was your nap? I was like, good. Because I texted him, I said I wasn't feeling very good. I can't, he's just gonna have to wait till later. So anyway, I got Yats tonight. Well, I used to eat Nats, no, not that. I used to eat Yats all the time, and they're like these small little places here in town. They're local. It's absolutely delicious. I mean, I shouldn't probably be talking about how my stomach hurts on the heels of talking about how delicious it is and trying to get them some business, but it's very kind of like a college place people go to. It's kind of small. It started with one store, now I think in Indianapolis they have like 5 or 6 or something like that. And when you get a meal, you get like 2 pieces of French bread, and it's delicious. I used to get extra bread. I didn't today because something was wrong with our toaster, they said, but so before, when we would go, I would always get, it's called Drunken Chicken, and it was delicious. I mean, it was absolutely delicious. It was just like the right amount of spicy for me, and it's all over white rice. And it was kind of like, you know, they have like etouffee there and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, tonight, I was like, I really want Yats. I haven't had Yats in a while. Tanya and I were talking about it on the phone. I was talking to somebody else about it. So I was just driving around doing some errands, and so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get Yats. And it's super cheap too. Like, it was $9.50 for a meal, bread, a large drink. It was like $9.50. You get a huge order of this stuff. So I went in there and I was like, they have on their menu, so their menu is like a chalkboard, and hold on just a second. Oh, that's sad. Okay, he's thinking about not going to Nashville now because she won't have enough room for him in the car when she gets back, or on the way back, or something like that. Anyway, so they have a blackboard, and they have like all of what they have, like all their orders, because it changes daily. They have it written down on the board and stuff like that. So they had like 3 vegetarian ones. And so I said to the guy, I go, which one's the best one? They're super friendly in there, these guys that work in there, those guys and girls that work in there. They're very kind of like, you know, very artsy. And I was like, which one's your favorite? They're so nice. And I was like, which one's your favorite, the vegetarian? He's like, I like this one, but I like the spinach. And I'm like, I'm not a big like spinach fan. Like, I'll do it, but I don't love it. And he goes, go with this one, or this is the one I would go with, or whatever. And I said, okay, well, I'll go with the B&B, it was called. And so it was like black beans, and then it was like this caramelized corn, because, you know, I love corn, over white rice. And it had like peppers in it and stuff. It was good. I mean, I don't know that I would order it again. It wasn't like it was so delicious I had to have it again. I probably would just heat up that corn niblets thing, you know. But it was okay. It was not bad. And I sat there and I ate it and I watched TV. And like a half an hour went by and my stomach just started like hurting. Like really, really hurting. And so like I just kind of like laid down on like the little chair and ottoman that I filmed my videos on and stuff. I was just kind of like laying there and it was like pain in my stomach. And it's gone away. It's not like how it felt before, but I mean, I was like, I gotta lay down, like, and this was like probably about 9 or something, maybe like 10, because I had filmed a second video today and posted it late. And so I was like, I've gotta lay down. So I was texting Alex because they had gotten back from the festival because it was like thundering, so they were gonna come back, so in case it rained, they didn't get stuck in the rain again. And so I was like, okay, I said, I'm gonna lay down. I said, my stomach is killing me. I really hurt my stomach by eating this stuff. So I don't know what it was. I don't know, like, if there was something in there that I have a food allergy to, which I don't have really any food allergies, so that would be surprising to me if that were the case. But man, I said, man, it like hurt my stomach. My stomach still hurts, like, and it's not appendicitis for all of you out there that are like, oh my God, it's appendicitis, you need to get to emergency care. It's not appendicitis. It's something that I ate. My stomach hurts. I can tell the difference. Because I kind of felt like my stomach, I thought like I was going to throw up too for a little while. So anyway, I took Boo and Tucker and Pee-Pee upstairs to the bed, and then we lay down and took a nap. And I set the alarm for like 12 something, and I woke up at 1:40, and I was like, oh my God, I crashed out. Tanya had texted me like 2 hours before and asked me if I wanted to go get a fountain Coke, and I just like completely slept right through her text. So yeah, it's been, that was my evening. Of course it makes sense that like I rarely ever get sick to my stomach, sick period. And whenever I say that, people are always like, you get sick all the time. No, I mean, I really never do. Not where, I don't get sick to where I can't, you know, work or be effective in my life. Like I felt like that tonight. Like I just didn't want to do anything. I watched Bride Wars twice today, okay? I've never seen the movie before, and I had it on the background. And did you ever do this? Like, I had it just, like, it was just on TV, on cable, and I literally watched it back, like, twice, back to back. It's not even that great of a movie. So, anyway, but I do love Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway, so. I got up today, I went to the casino last night. I stayed so late at the casino last night, you guys, because I didn't even get there till like 3:30 in the morning. I filmed my vlog. I wasn't gonna go to the casino necessarily, and but I wanted to because, you know, Alex is gone, so I can do what I want to do. I think maybe I mentioned that yesterday in the vlog, and not have to worry about coming home. He was like, babe, stay out late, do what you want to do, you know, have fun. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go to the casino. Well, I ended up like going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I took like $200 and I ended up walking out with like $130. And I left at, are you ready for this? Like 7:15 in the morning. No, I didn't get there at 3:30. I got there at like 3 o'clock. And I played for like 4.5 hours, 4 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. And just went up and down the whole time. But I sat there and I was like, all these people were watching these machines behind me that were called Lightning Strike, which I like. And so I started talking to this woman. She was like, I thought she was like 25, and she and I were the exact same age. I said something to her about like, well, I'm so old or something like that. And she goes, or no, I said, what are you talking about? Well, she said that she does femme drag. And I said, you do femme drag? Okay, that's cool. Where do you do it? And femme drag is like women that dress up in drag. And so she was like, well, I do it here in a certain city and blah, 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 whatever, at this bar. And I was like, she's like, have you ever been there before? And I said, yeah, but it's been like 20 years. I said, and she was like, oh, well, my drag father is so-and-so. You might know him because he was a Mr. Gay Indiana. And I said, I don't follow that stuff anymore. I said, I followed it like, you know, 20 years ago when, God, it was longer than that now. I said, you know, when I was like early going out and I had friends that were drag queens that were in drag pageants. I did the whole drag pageant scene. I like followed all the drag pageant scenes and stuff like that and went to all the national pageants. And I said, but you wouldn't know any of those people because you're so much younger than me. That's what I said to her. And she goes, how old do you think or she goes, how old are you? And I said, I'm 46. And she goes, how old do you think that I am? And I said, I don't know, like mid to late 20s. She was gorgeous. And she goes, I'm exactly your same age. My daughter was 25 today. I said, excuse me? She was like, yeah. She was like, my daughter was 25 today. And so we ended up like talking the entire night. Her name was T and her friend Kristen. Like the three of us talked the entire night. Like it was so much fun. I had such a great time. You ever just like meet somebody and you like connect with them like that? And so it was so funny because we were sitting there talking. The way that we started talking was I play these lightning strike machines, and this guy had gotten like 8 hand pays on him, okay, which like never happens. And I said to her, I go, I never see anybody get hand pays. So a hand pay is when they have to come to your machine and they have to hand pay you because you go over like, I think it's like $1,150 or something like that. And it's like where taxes have to be taken out of it. And she goes, well, she said, he's getting hand pay because of his bet. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, he's betting $25 a hand. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because it's one of those multi-denominational machines. And so you can play like 1 cent, 2 cent. I usually play 2 cent at 50, which means I'm betting $1 when I spin. And you can bet like, you know, 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, and 10 cents. And then you can bet it at 50 cents, $1, $1.50, $2.50, and $5. Well, he was betting it at like the max bet of whatever. So he was getting a bonus, and what I would probably get like $100 bonus on, he was like every single time like $1,200 every single time. So he was getting constant hand pays. And so she and I started talking, and I go, and she had stood there for like, I had noticed like 20 minutes. She'd been standing there not playing, and I said, don't you ever get bored just sitting there and watching people play? She goes, no, I love it. She goes, we spend half the night, she goes, this is like my best friend, and we spend half the night like going and watching machines, and we spend the other half the night playing. And she's like, I could watch it for hours and hours and hours. And I said, really? And she's like, yeah, I'm really into the slot community on YouTube. I watch all their videos. And I go, that's what I do. And she goes, you have a slot YouTube channel? And I go, no. I go, I just have a YouTube channel. And she looks at me like this, and she goes, oh my God, you're that guy. And I go, what guy? And she goes, you're the guy that does all the beauty commentary. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, you're the guy that talks about Jeffree Star, and you talk about like James Charles and people like that. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God. And I go, you don't really know who I am. And she was like, no, I was just watching your video today. And she like literally pulls up her YouTube on her phone, and it's on my channel. And I was like, oh my God. She's like, oh, I'm fanboying so hard right now. I was like, why? And she's like, I can't believe I was sitting here talking to you all this time. I didn't even know that that was you. I was like, well, it is. And so we ended up, she's so sweet, and we ended up sitting there talking for like the rest of the night. And she educated me about the entire slot community on YouTube, and telling me all about the people to watch. She's like, do you know that most of these guys are gay? And they like, and I was like, do they make really good money on, you know, doing slots on YouTube? Because you'd have to spend a lot of money, I would think, you know? And she was like, well, they do okay, I think. So I went to this one guy, his Social Blade. He's making like $25,000 a month. I was like, he's doing really, really good. And he has like 100,000 subscribers. So, you know, like the slot community is smaller, but it was interesting. I watched some of his videos today, and I really kind of got into it because like some of them I've watched before, it just shows the slot machines just run, and it's rather boring. But this one, he like talks in the background. And the other thing was that he and his friend would pool, he and his friends, like he had like 3 friends, they would like pool their money together, and then they would go and play like a high limit machine, which I don't ever get to play because I'm not going to bet $10 or $20 a bet. I just don't have the money to do that. So it was kind of cool to see. Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time with her. So, hey T, if you're watching this. I shouted her out in my other video, so I know she's not going to watch this, but it was nice meeting somebody else, you know, and just kind of like sitting there talking. And she messaged me this morning. There was this woman that was there, and she had like brought a certain amount of money, and she'd like lost it all. And she was like, I told myself I was going to only spend so much. I ended up spending more. And she was like, tomorrow's the anniversary of my son's death. And this girl's friend asked her, she said, well, how did your son die? And she said he was killed like 10 years ago. And She was like, so every day on that day, I treat myself and I get my hair done. But she was like real emotional. And so T and her friend kept on telling me, they're like, we don't know her, but we don't want to leave her here just by herself in the casino. So we're kind of just like watching her and hanging out and talking to her. They were like so nice to everybody. And so I got up and she had messaged me because she like friended me on Facebook. She was like, can I friend you on Facebook? I was like, yeah, I don't use Facebook very often, but it's for me, like if you want to message me or something, you can do that. So she friended me on Facebook, and I woke up this morning and she's like, she hit the grand for $808 at like 9:05 a.m. I was like, oh my God, you guys stayed there that long. That was like my first response. And I was like, oh, that's so happy. She's like, I was so excited for her. She was like, I almost fell over the chair. She was like, I was so happy for her. She was so happy, blah, 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 whatever. And so that was cool, you know. It was just nice to just sit there and, you know, I don't know, it was fun talking about something that I didn't know anything about, too. I was telling my friends, they're like, you love going to the casino, you should start a slot channel. I was like, no, that is one channel I know I don't need to start. It's a slot channel. That's one channel I know I don't need to start, okay? I don't need to be spending all, my husband would be having no part of that. He would say, okay, let me get this right. You're gonna start a channel where you go to the casino and you spend all this money at the casino playing slot machines? No, we're not gonna do this. I can just hear that conversation right now. You'd be like, no, we're not gonna do that. Oh my God, my stomach. I feel like I need to get a Sprite. You know, like when your stomach hurts? For a long time, I thought it was, you're supposed to drink a Coke. Like, I thought my mom told me that when I was growing up. Like, she'd be like, sweetie, do you want a Coke for your stomach? But then, it was, like, when I worked in treatment and people had sick stomachs, we always gave them ginger ale. We gave them Shastas, actually. They came in this little can. If you're a nurse, you'll totally know what I'm talking about. Hospitals and treatment facilities, they don't, like, have real pop. They have Shasta. And they're little cans that pop. And the kids used to always think they were getting, like, a special treat. And so they would come to the station and they'd be like, I need to talk to the nurse, my stomach hurts. And they would be like, well, and we would be like, well, we can call the nurse. How bad does it hurt? And they're like, I think I need a Shasta. And they really just wanted a pop. That's what it was. Shasta, the ever-solving liquid of the world. I forgot about that. God. It's nasty, too. I used to like ginger ale when I was a little kid. When we would go to restaurants when I was little, I used to always get a Shirley Temple. I thought I was so fancy. I'd be like, I'll have a Shirley Temple, please. No wonder I became an alcoholic. Ordering my Shirley Temple like they were gimlets. I'll have a Shirley Temple, please. Hold the eyes. I don't remember not even really liking them that much. Not compared to just like a basic Coke. I thought they tasted too cherry. I have this friend of mine, her stomach always hurts. Like, always, always, always hurts. And if I take her somewhere and like we go through, she'll be like, I need to get a Sierra Mist. And so I'll take her through somewhere and I'll be like, yeah, can I get a large Sierra Mist? And she'll be like, oh, my stomach, I need a Sierra Mist. And I'll be like, yeah, can I get a large Sierra Mist? And they're like, no, we have Sprite. And she'll be like, we need to go somewhere else. It has to be Sierra Mist. But she won't get out of the car. So you can't just go to a gas station, right? It has to be a drive-through, which I've learned. So if you ever have a friend like this, Taco Bell has Sierra Mist. She'll be like, it has to be Sierra Mist. So Sierra Mist and Shasta are apparently solving the world's problems right now. I do like a good Sierra Mist, though. I could drink one right now. Wish there was a Taco Bell up here. I'd go right through it and get me a Sierra Mist. Because my stomach does hurt. I'm gonna crack myself up. Oh. So I got up today. I got up late. But not as late. I set my alarm for like 12:45 and I woke up at like 1:30 and I was like up because like the dogs were up and I took them out when I got home last night and fed them a little bit and then they came upstairs and they crashed out, but when my alarm started going off, they like woke up. And so they got up. Oh, it's yellow. I'm like stopping at a yellow. I wondered why this guy was like coming up on my ass. So they got up, I took them outside. I went and I got a coffee at Starbucks, and I thought, God, you look like shit. I mean, I looked so wrecked this morning because I really didn't get that much sleep. And so I came back and I was like, just get the videos done right now that you want to get done, and enjoy your day of making videos, and enjoy just what you're going to do today. But the thing was, I didn't really have anything to do. So I was like sitting there like really thinking, I was going to do like a really creative, funny video on my main channel. And I started putting it together, and I talked to my friend, and he was like, that's stupid, don't do that. I was like, you think it's stupid? I was going to do this video, and I was going to call it My Truth, and it was going to be like real funny little things like me having to own my truth and be honest, because, you know, all these beauty influencers are going to do it, are doing it. And I was going to say things like, whenever I get Kohl's cash, I always forget to use it. Please forgive me. It was going to be stuff like that. But, yeah, some of them were kind of stupid. You got to know when your act isn't good. You know what I mean? My act wasn't good. It was stupid. So I agreed with him. I was like, okay, I won't do it. He's like, yeah, I think that's best. So I filmed my other videos. I talked a lot on the phone today. Took a shower, went to Yats, got food. But I mean, I got up so late that by the time I got my shit together and was sitting down, you know, making videos, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I was kind of like awake, you know? And I was texting Alex back and forth because he went to brunch with some friends of ours in Chicago, and one of his friends from college that is a friend of mine as well. And then they were going to the music festival, and you know what's interesting is, like, he was so excited about this music festival, and yesterday they left early because of storms. Tonight they left early because of supposed storms that they didn't want to get caught in. It's like they don't even really want to be at the music festival that bad. And I remember last year he was kind of let down about the music festival. I remember he was kind of like, well, I don't know that I really, like, I don't know that I'll go again. It wasn't really that great. And I'm like, really? You were so excited about going to it? And his attitude's kind of the same this year, so next year I'm going to be like, pull out this vlog, and I'm going to be like, now, let me tell you something. You were not so excited about that music festival last year that you now all of a sudden have to go to. I don't really care. It wouldn't have changed my weekend. But I did think I was going to have a lot more free time to just kind of hang out and not do a whole lot. And I've like been pretty busy, like cleaning the house and getting laundry done and, you know, stuff like that. It's like a lot of work to take care of 3 dogs too. Like, you know, I'm like, having been in Vegas for 5 days, I kind of forget what that's like. But I mean, because I love doing it, you know, and I don't mind it, but you're kind of constantly on your toes. Like, I take them out like every 45 minutes to an hour, and they, you know, walk around outside for 10 or 15 minutes, and then, you know, I feed them twice a day. PP has to have his medicine in the morning and at night. You know, they follow you constantly everywhere. It seems like every day it's a different dog. Like yesterday it was Boo Radley, but Boo Radley and PP kind of just hung out on the stairs. It stopped recording. I don't even know where it stopped recording, but I was talking about that every day it's a different dog that follows me around, and you know it. And yesterday it was Boo Radley, but today he and PP hung out on the stairs, and so today it was Tucker that just would not leave me alone. He just constantly was like, on me, but he's so cute. Every time I looked down, he was like right there, like, Dad, are we done with all of this business? Can we take a nap now? He's so cute. I think Tanya left some dollars on here the other day. Yep, she sure did.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Every day's a great day. What can we get for you?
That is true. Can I get a large Sierra Mist, please?
A large cherry Pepsi?
A large Sierra Mist.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. It's our pleasure to charge you out the second window, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy shit, 217 for a Coke. Did you hear when she said every day is a good day? Every day here is a good day, I think is what she said. You think she's supposed to say that? Probably. She's probably like, I hate my job. I don't know, sometimes that's not true. Sometimes I meet people and they are truly so happy and they feel so blessed for the jobs that they have, you know? I know I always did. I loved my job back in the day. I mean, were there days that I was like, I just don't even want to be here? Yeah, all the pain, obviously. But I think anybody feels that with any job, don't you think? You're not gonna love your job every day. I've got too much shit up in my little thing right there. Nobody's gonna love their job every day. I'm gonna turn this way in case she doesn't want to be on camera.
I'm on night. Hello, 217.
Can I get some napkins too, please?
Yeah, I got you, sir. How many?
Thank you. I don't know, a couple, because it'll just sweat in my car.
Oh, okay, I got you. You want your receipt or not?
I don't need my receipt. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good, sir. Closing about a good 30 minutes. Happy about that.
There you go. Then you can enjoy your weekend, right?
Yep.
Okay, have a good one.
All right, you too, sir.
Okay. Here's a trick. Oh, God, here's a trick. So I usually get styrofoam cups, like if I'm at the gas station, because they don't melt. But with cups like this, you wrap it and then you put it in your holder like that, but you ask for napkins. Then you keep the napkins very clean right down here in case you need them at a later time. At a later time for your leisure. Oh, God. The last time that I went to Taco Bell, which wasn't too long ago. So now that I know that you can buy, oh, how about we just like continue to film it like that, Peter? That would be stupid, wouldn't it? Now that I know that at Taco Bell, you can get anything that you want. Oh, God, get that stupid sticky stuff all over my hands. But you just have them replace it with beans if you're a vegetarian, or I mean, if you just want beans, you can do that too. But, so like you can go through there and you can get like a taco, but instead of beef, say I want, can you replace the beef with beans? And they'll do it on anything on their menu, right? So I just found this out like 3 months ago. So when I'm craving fast food, I just go through Taco Bell. And it's kind of like my go-to thing for fast food. But the last time I went, well, no, that's not true, because the last time I went, I got 2 bean burritos and a nachos Bel Grande with the beef replaced by beans. But a couple times ago I went, and I got like 2 cheesy gordita crunches, because I love those, replaced them with beans. And then I got nachos Bel Grande. I was so beaned out by about halfway through that meal, I like threw the rest of it out. I was like, I can't do this. I can't eat any more beans. And it's not like they're the healthiest beans in the entire world anyway, you know what I mean? I just was like, I can't do this anymore. Oh, the other thing is you put paper towels in the bottom of your, you fold them over twice, and then you put them in the bottom of your drink holder so that it doesn't melt down in there, and then you have to clean all that out. Just a little hint for Heloise for ya. Did you guys ever read that article back in the day? My mom would always say, because it was in the newspaper, well, Heloise says, grind up an aspirin, mix it with garlic, you have a remedy, I'm sure. Oh, God. There's Fazoli's, MCL. Is that MCL a drive-through? Do you guys know what MCL is? Do you guys have it in your city? So MCL is like, my grandma used to love to go there when I was a little kid. It's a, what do you call it? It's not a buffet. I mean, it is, but it's not really. It's a, oh, what does it say next to it? Let's see what it says. Because it's like more like chicken dinners, pies, stuff. I mean, it's still a buffet, but not like buffet style. They have it all like on plates. What does it say? MCL restaurant. Oh, it just says restaurant and bakery. But that's a huge one, actually. But you like go through, and my mom would, we would like have to go out to dinner. I loved it. They would have like bowls of Jello, like, you know, cubed Jello, and macaroni and cheese and stuff. And I can remember back in the day, we would always go out, my mom and I would go out to dinner with my grandma, and I'd be like, Mom, where are we going to dinner? And she'd be like, MCL, grandma's favorite. And I'm like, you don't like MCL? She'd be like, no, it's too expensive. And I'd be like, well, why does grandma like MCL so much? And she'd say, because she can pick her own food. She used to always say that. And like at the time, it made so much sense to me. But like now when I think back on that, like what restaurant can't you pick your own food? You know what I mean? But like you go through the line and it's like, okay, salads. So it's not like a buffet, because it's not like tureens of salad. It's like bowls of salad in a row. You know what I mean? It's kind of more of like a lunch line, so to speak. What's that called? What's the word I'm looking for? And then they have like the Jellos and the you know, then they have like the marshmallow salads, you know, those kinds of things. I gag a maggot. I can't stand that shit. So anyway, God. I love my family on my dad's side, but man, they are really good. Two things they are really, really good for on holidays is that marshmallow Jello salad with like fruit mixed into it. God. It looks like we got so desperate we didn't know what to throw together to make, so let's just call this something salad. And then the other thing is those Chinese noodles with melted butterscotch all over them for Christmas cookies. I don't think that's a combination that's supposed to go together, but whatever. My Aunt Harriet used to make those back in the day. So then you go through there, and then they have like, you know, you can like cut, they have the meat, like the prime rib that they cut. It's all old people. It's literally all old people, okay? They have fried chicken on a plate, and then you can ask them like what you want. You can put like little sides of like mashed potatoes or macaroni and cheese. And then the last part, which is the best, is that they have slices of like pecan pie, pumpkin pie, apple pie, key lime pie. They have like every pie you could ever imagine, and stuff like that. And it's good. It's like upscale, but it's expensive. Like MCL is expensive. My grandma used to always want to go there. And I'd say to my mom, why does grandma always want to go to MCL? Because she can pick her own food. My mom would say she hated it. She hated that place. My mom's idea of a good dinner or lunch was this place called Dalt's, and it was at the Fashion Mall. I don't know if it was a chain, but we don't have them here anymore. And all the waiters and waitresses wore like button-down collared shirts and fun ties, and then they had to wear like aprons over it. And they served like if I got a Coke or like a Dr. Pepper, they would serve it in one of those tall bottles. You remember those tall bottles back in the day? And my mother would get a tab, a glass of Chardonnay, and a Cobb salad. Talk about the housewives' lunch right there. Cobb salad, a tab, and a Chardonnay. Or maybe on a good day, a gin and tonic. You know, when I think about today, like, people drinking and then getting in the car with their kids and driving is so frowned upon, you know? And when I was growing up, maybe it was just a situation that I grew up in. I don't know. But for my mom to go out to lunch with a couple of her friends and have a glass or two of wine, and then, I mean, do we think this is bad today? Do we think this is acceptable? I mean, I don't know. I really don't, honestly. Because I don't have friends that do this today, so I don't know. I never had the discussion. But, you know, my mom would go out to lunch and have a couple gin and tonics or a couple glasses of wine and then come pick me up from tennis practice or something, you know? Like, I look back on that and she wasn't drunk. Like, I don't remember her drunk. But does it surprise? No, it doesn't surprise me. You know, like in the summers, like, she would play tennis often in this morning when I was at tennis camp, and then we would go to lunch afterwards with like another girlfriend of hers and their kid that played tennis. And, you know, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, she's having a gin and tonic, and then we're going and laying out at somebody's pool or something, you know? I look back on that and I think it is very bizarre, you know? I don't know. It's kind of like like this suburban acceptability, I guess. It really is, because, you know, in the inner city, if you had a mother that had 3 kids and she was working 2 jobs, and in between her jobs, she went home and drank, you know, let's say, you know, 2 beers, 3, 4 beers, picked up her kids from school, took them home and went to another job, we would look down on that, you know? So it really is about that. It's really sad when I look back on that, you know, that I don't know. That's kind of like why it's important for me to talk about addiction, because no matter how you wrap it up, no matter how pretty you make it, so I've talked about this on here, that I wanted to write a book about my recovery and my mother's recovery side by side, and I was going to call it The Pretty Drinker. Because I always looked at my mother as this, like, drinker that was very like Betty Davis with smoking, you know, that she's kind of like this mysterious figure. But it wasn't pretty, and that's the irony of the title. You know, it wasn't pretty at all. It was scary, and you know, it just wasn't nice. And but the face of addiction, you know, it's really all the same within us. It's how we mask it on the outside, dependent upon gender, you know, age, sexuality, whatever, where we live, you know, our backgrounds, our financial backgrounds, our education, all of that. But inside, the addiction looks exactly the same. It plays out in our lives very similar in most of our, you know, lives. And so really, how far you go down often is dictated by your circumstances. It's sad, you know. That's why it's important, those like posters, and they used to have them all over treatment facilities that would show like 10 different people's pictures, and they would, you know, be completely different people, and it would say, you know, this is the face of addiction and all this kind of stuff. And it's true, because there is no face to addiction. You know, addiction looks different everywhere. So, yeah. I think I'm gonna go and get some like those little Pepto-Bismol tablets. I'm kind of feeling better just a little bit driving around talking, but I feel a little bit better if I got some of those and then maybe lay down. It's weird because that Dalt's place that I was talking about was right up here. They had a really, really good club sandwich. My mom and I, when we would go in there, I always got a club sandwich when I was a kid. I felt so fancy. I loved club sandwiches when I was a kid. They were like one of my favorite things in the entire world. Isn't it funny when you look back and you had like favorite things that like that you loved as a kid? Chicken curry that my mom made was my favorite meal of life. Chicken curry, or she would make chili. In the fall, she would make chicken curry and orange bread, which I loved. Or she would make chili and raw apple muffins. Those were the 2 meals of hers that were my favorite. And although my mom could not bake to save her life, she could really make a really, really good pecan pie. And so for my birthday, I usually asked for a pecan pie, not for a cake. When I was growing up, I always had a ice cream cake. But as I got older, I would ask for a pecan pie with a piece of vanilla, like a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of it. Dead in Indianapolis for a Saturday night. What time is it? I guess it's probably late. It's probably like 2:42. I think that woman over there is like an Uber, because those girls in the back seat seem drunk, and she's just kind of like sitting there driving. But she doesn't have an Uber sign. Do Lyfts have to have the Lyft thing on them? I don't even know. So I don't really have a whole lot to do tomorrow, and Alex isn't going to get home until late. I think ends at 9 or 10, which is like an hour earlier than us, so it's really like 11 or 12 our time, which means they'll put him back in Indianapolis about 3 or 4 a.m. And then he has to work on Monday morning. So I have a feeling, I don't know why, but I have a feeling they're going to come back early tomorrow and not go to the festival. I think that's what they did last year. That's kind of why I wanted to get some of my stuff done today in case he comes home. There's a new pet store here. It's called Bentley's Pet Stuff, and it's like real small. It's like locally owned. It looks so cute. I want to go in there and see what they have. All right, I'm gonna go into the gas station and I'm gonna get some of those little Pepto-Bismol tablets. So Pepto-Bismol tablets. So I'm gonna get off here and end this a little early tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna try to film throughout the day tomorrow. I love you guys, and I will see you then. Bye.